It's Talk Funny, a podcast by Mark Bailey and other comics from all over. We ended up in Japan because we wanted to watch sidewalks in Japan getting hosed down like livestock for no apparent reason. The Talk Funny podcast from NagoyaRadio.com and Nagoya Comedy. Here's Mark Bailey.
Welcome back to Talk Funny. I'm Mark Bailey. We're here with Steve Howard.
Hello.
Steve, we've mentioned before, is a published author. So you're living the life now, no problems?
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned this company, Amazon. I don't think I'm familiar with them.
Yeah, they're a Seattle company.
This part of the show not brought to you by Amazon, apparently.
As you mentioned, I'm an author, so I've self-published quite a few books, and recently I self-published a collection of poetry, because that's what all real authors do. And the title of it was Diet of a Piss-Poor Poet, which was kind of, a take on the fact that most writers don't make any money. Well, Amazon has decided that that violates their profanity clause or whatever, and they won't allow me to run an ad campaign on their thing. And I fought with them about it for about a week and finally gave up and had to change the title of my book.
They don't like the word poor?
Yeah. Because it describes their CEO, right?
Yeah. So you have to change the title?
Yeah, I have to change the book cover, the title, all the ad copy that I wrote, because they won't allow me to run advertisements on Amazon.
I make a suggestion: how Amazon screwed me over and how I learned to love the bomb.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about writing a long dedication in the first part of the book for them.
Thanks for nothing to the following companies. Do they have a list of guidelines or something that they have to?
Yeah, they do. They actually do have a list of guidelines. But the thing that really made me mad was Gloria Steinem. She's got a brand new book of quotes coming out, and the title of her book, she uses the same word that I used, but I'm
poor.
Yeah, poor. Mm-hmm, yeah, to describe herself, of course. But
her judgment.
Yeah.
Her lifestyle. Sorry.
I'm sure that I'm positive they're running an ad campaign for her book, but yeah, it's just they apparently if it's a word that a 5-year-old would recognize as offensive, they won't allow you to use that on your book cover or in your ad campaigns.
Well, it sounds kind of ridiculous to say. What the title of your book, the Diet of a Pee-Pee Poor Poet, sounds ridiculous, right? Diet of a number one poor poet. Oh, he's the poorest? No, it's number one. He's as poor as number one. If you're going to coin a phrase in English, I mean, it's not like that phrase has ever been used ever before. You coined it.
A guy named what's that unknown author? Charles Dickens was that guy? Yeah.
Since we're getting blacklisted from companies, I think I'll mention one. By this time, I've pretty much gotten my videos and everything finished with some comedy courses that I've been writing, and one of the ones I was going to use was Skillshare, and I wanted to warn everybody. I was halfway through the Skillshare videos that I was making and posting, and I can take them off before I publish, which is what I did. And I found 17 people in a row that said, Skillshare, if they've deemed that you have not promoted it properly, they will take ownership of your course, and you get no more funds for it, and it's yours. And you get no royalties, you get nothing, and it's not your material, and you're forbidden from using that material on any other platform.
Wow.
Well, that's a great deal. How do I sign up with that? Can I get a special deal to get like all of the cardboard in the world? Did I get to keep in my room? Can I give a special deal for that? It sounds like a great deal. Do I have to buy the Vaseline when you screw me? So Skillshare, I took down all the stuff that I had before I published it, and I put it on another platform, and we'll be publishing that shortly. But there's a lot of, I would say, you know who Don Kirshner was?
Yeah.
Don Kirshner was the slave owner. Yeah. Wasn't he Catholic? No, he was He was Jewish. A Jewish Brooklynite. Who would have known? A Jew from Brooklyn, and apparently he shafted a lot of musicians. Carole King, Jerry Goffin, just a few. Steely Dan, everybody in Kansas. I mean, not the band. I mean, everybody in Kansas. No, the band Kansas. And band Kansas was so angry at him. He took all of their money. He took all of their rights, and they got no royalties. Every time Dust in the Wind is played, Don Kirshner's estate still gets paid. And the guys who wrote it, I think the drummer wrote it, and he doesn't get anything. And so they hated him so much that when he died, it's in the 2000s, they all flew up there and spit on his grave individually.
Wow.
That's a nice legacy.
Jeez.
And then I think the bass player said, from Kansas, said, off the record, if it wasn't illegal to dig up corpses, we would have. And then the other guy said, that's enough. The agent said, that's enough. You've said enough. So Don Kirshner, I guess my point is, Don Kirshner, he had the Brill Building, and it was basically a factory for songs.
Yeah.
And they would take all these songs, give them to the Shirelles, give them to all these bands, all these groups, and not pay the groups. They would get paid for their time. They wouldn't make any money with the royalties. And so that's what Skillshare is trying to do. So Don Kirshner is alive and well with Skillshare. Hello, Patreon.
I think, was it the first season of The Sopranos was sort of based on that?
Oh, yeah. With the black
yeah.
the black artist. And that's another one. That didn't happen to be Don Kirshner. I think that was Lieber and Stoller, the real life.
Yeah.
And they ripped off Sam and Dave, all of those guys. You remember all the Drifters, all of those doo-wop bands and the black bands, they ripped them all off. And then when the Beatles, and it was just standard practice, the Beatles came on and they were doing Lieber Stoller songs for the first 2 years. And I think he was a Mormon? No, he was a Jew too. Their manager, Brian Epstein, British Jew. They still had a few of them. British Jew, and he said, "You're not making any money." But we sang on all the songs, lad, for 2 years. Yeah, but they're not your songs, so you don't get any of the money. And so he said, "You're going to have to write songs." So, what's the Elton John joke? They said at 4 he was playing the piano. At 6 he was writing songs, and by 8 he had another crappy song ready. By 9 p.m. it was published. You're kind of miffed about the Amazon thing.
Yeah.
Let it out.
Well, I actually did write. I wrote and got published a long rant about the whole thing.
Oh, good.
So on Medium. So hopefully some people will see that. But I was just astounded. Essentially, to me, it's censorship.
Well, I think, maybe they saw the first season of Sopranos and they said, that's a pretty good idea. I think we'll do that. Call my friends up at Skillshare and then Jeff Bezos. And because Jeff Bezos needs your money.
Yeah. And if that doesn't work, we'll just shoot you in the knee.
So we will, figuratively shoot you in the knee because we will blacklist you from Amazon Marketplace. They've been doing that a lot for some people. And then when I pulled all my stuff out of Skillshare, they have some watchdog watching everything you do, every time you upload, and then every time you delete something. And as soon as I deleted my material from Skillshare, I got her name's Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Lisa from Skillshare emailed me immediately. As soon as I hit delete, bing. Oh, we noticed you've lost some material on Skillshare. We'd really like to help us keep our material on. Oh, what do you mean our? Yeah, here we go. And I hope you have backups. So I sent back and I said, I don't know what happened. I wrote all this stuff and now it's gone.
Did you run out of Vaseline by chance, sir? Yeah.
I mean, you're in the wrong position. You should actually be in doggy position. It hurts less that way. Skillshare. Well, Silicon Valley, I think it's, obvious now. Facebook, they've said as much. Basically, you're not the customer. You're the product. Mm-hmm. We've got all your data, and that's what Skillshare and some of these other places are doing. You get all your data, all your know-how, and when you're dead or before you're dead, we're going to use that. That's in our catalog now. And eventually, when our AI overlords take over, but when AI takes over, I had a funny bit that I was working on about when AI merges safaris. Eventually, AI will be managing safaris, and then they have access to cameras. The drones will be patrolling it, and you will one day on Instagram, you'll see a family of lions baring their teeth in front of a human that they've just hunted. That'll be on Instagram. And then AI will be, how you like me now, bitch? All right, I think we've gone way over. We'll be back. This has been Mark Bailey with Steve Howard. If you listen to Talk Funny, thanks for listening.